Shalom Akim Salakia. Somebody called. Um, but like I was saying, I'm just going to get into the book of Galatians now. All right. After I kind of gave that introduction of Christopher Columbus, the wicked stuff that he did as a Catholic, and the Americans, the wicked stuff that they did, as a Christian, supposed Christian nation. A little backstory about that. So now I'm going to get into Galatians chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Mashiach unto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Mashiach. All right, so let's look up that word pervert. It says alter something from its original course, meaning or state to a distortion or corruption of what was intended. All right, let me get this real quick, and then I'll go back to that. Let me see. Let's see. How was Christianity altered? Let's see. Christianity in the Roman Empire. That's not it. No. The one I'm looking for is here in America. More than 2 billion followers for Christianity. Wow, and nothing has changed. Everything's still the same. It's actually getting worse. Let's see. I mean, there's a lot of articles that you can look up, how Christianity was altered. But, you have politics. All right, here it says politics and law, sexual morals, letters and learning. How did Christianity evolve? Christianity began in the 1st century AD after Yahushua died as a Jew. All right, which that word Jew means Yahawada because he came from the tribe of Judah. All right, but Jew, the Jews was referring to the southern kingdom, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which now Jew can refer to the whole house of Israel or an Israelite. All right. It says sect in Judea, but quickly spread throughout the Roman Empire. Despite early persecution of Christians, it later became a state religion. In the Middle Ages, it spread into Northern Europe and in Russia. Does the Bible say? Anyways, let me see. All right, but here in America, man, let me get this book too. What was that first book of? Actually, let me get it over here. Let me get the first book of Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 48. Let me see. I'll just click one. Go down to verse 48. And it says, First Maccabees, chapter 3 and 48, and laid open the book of the law, all right, which is the scriptures. It says, wherein the heathen had sought to paint their likeness of their images. All right, so they painted their own images. You have the Borgia family, which Caesar Borgia was a wicked ass man, slept an incest man, all right, killed his own brother, and his father used, I believe it was Michelangelo. I'm not too sure about it. Let me look it up. Who painted Caesar Borgia? Exploring the theory of modern image of Jesus was based. All right, the modern image of the Lord was based upon the Borgia family. It says further Borgia family drama comes out of the fact that both Caesar and Giovanni shared a mistress, Sanka of Aragon, the wife of the third brother, Jeffrey Borgia, a notorious womanizer, Caesar fathered 11 known illegitimate children. Who painted the picture of Cesar Borgia says it's certainly true that images of Cesar Borgia from the period are uncannily similar to the images of the Messiah painted around the same time. Cesar even gazes serenely off canvas in most famous depictions. All right, it doesn't tell me who painted it. It says the father of Cesar Borgia was Pope Alexander. Is that right? That just shows the wickedness that they have. But anyways, they painted their images. You look up King David and it's a so-called white man, or a so-called Caucasian, which Caucasian goes back to the word cave dweller. All right, and David was no cave dweller, man. Yes, he ran into a cave or a mountain, to hide from persecution, but he didn't live out in the mountains, and his legacy lived out in the mountains. All right, which is the legacy of the Edomites, self-proclaimed whites. So to alter something is to pervert. All right. So let me read that part again. It says, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Mashiach. All right. How are they perverting it? Because they say all love, all loving, And this is Jeremiah. What was it? Chapter 8. Let me get it over here. I'll come back. Jeremiah 8. And it says, was it 12? Nope, right here, verse 11. All right, and this is where our people are even saying too, man. This really, describes our people. But, Edomites say it. All our people say it, and they further it. All right, trying to get everybody into this lovey-dovey, state which is not true. All right, it says, Jeremiah 8 and 11, for they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying peace, peace, when there is no peace. All right, so that's what people have been saying for a long time, man. This is Matthew. Oh, I meant to put 10. Matthew 10 and 7. It says, as ye go preach, saying the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. And that's what we're doing. We're freely giving back, all right? The word of life. We're giving life back to the people by the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, So jumping down, it says, verse 14, and whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of the house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. And like we read about Christopher Columbus, I guess in part 1, this man committed so many crimes that nowadays he would have been put on death row. You see? And the same thing with America. America has done so many crimes that they would have been put on death row before Sodom and Gomorrah were put on death row. That's just how bad it was. Sodom and Gomorrah would have still been put on death row, but America would have came in first place, man, because this place is wicked. It says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. All right, so you're going to have a lot of people that are going to change this doctrine. You're going to have a lot of people that are let me see. Let me type in characteristics. What are characteristics of wolves? Because studying the animals too shows you how you should be. Scriptures say go to the sluggard. It tells you go study the ants. Go study how the ants move because they work hard, man. It says wolf characteristics. Wolves are very intelligent creatures whose upright ears, sharp teeth, pointed muzzles, inquiring eyes, and other facial features instantly convey this quality. All right, so they're intelligent. Did not scripture say that this wicked man was wiser than Daniel? All right, so they use that truth that they know to distort it. All right, you can't hide the truth unless you know the truth, man. You know, so behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents. All right, we have to be as wise as these damn devils. Know the truth that they know, and harmless as doves. You see? So we're not going to go over there and pull a Christopher Columbus and take the world back. That's not up to us, man. That's what Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to do, not us. You know? It says, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. And now that those Gentiles is also talking about 2/3 of our people. All right, but also the natural born Gentiles, you know, which Gentiles Gawayam means other nations, you know, the heathen, you know, and that's usually referring to people that are outside of the temple of Israel, you know. It says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought on how ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in the same hour what ye shall speak. For it is neither ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. You know? So let me get this. Salakia. Yep. Let me go back over here. It says the wolf is a symbol of guardianship, and guarding what? The truth. A ritual, all right? And we know that these elites are ritualistic, all right? Loyalty to what? And spirit. Loyalty to the bad spirits, man. Loyalty to the dark side, so to speak, all right? Wolf has the ability to make quick and firm emotional attachments. You see? And that's how a lot of our people are, man. They're like wolves. They make emotional attachments, you know? So whenever you speak about certain things, oh, no, but President Trump, I like him, George Bush and, you know, Obama and all these dudes you want to have some type of emotional attachment with, man. All right? It says, and often need to thrust their own instincts. It says, thus they teach us to do the same. You see? Thus they teach us to do the same. To trust our hearts and minds. Oh, man. To trust our hearts and minds and have control over our own lives. Oh, man. That's beautiful. Let me see. What was I going to look up? There was one. They teach us to do the same, to trust our hearts and minds. Oh, right. Oop. You know. Heart. Let's see what the scripture says about all that. It says, Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things. You see that? The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? So that's what these wolves have taught us, man. These wolves have taught us to attach ourselves to emotional values, to think upon these things and meditate upon having our own way and doing our own thing. Do as thou willest is basically what I read. That's what these wolves have taught us, man. And scripture says the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? You see? So whenever we're taken by these wolves, which are 2/3 in these other nations, all right, don't think upon what you're going to say, you know. Don't think upon what you're gonna say or how you're gonna answer. Or, what's something wise to say. Sometimes the wisest thing to say is nothing. A wise man is a man is counted as wise when even a fool, Salaki, even a fool is counted as wise. When he keepeth his mouth, his lips sealed. So jumping down to verse 30. Also redemption for man. Verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father. All right, so that verse 34 does not justify Christopher Columbus. Oh, see, well, he did bring a sword. He brought a sword and he started killing people. No, that's not what that's talking about. All right, that sword that it's talking about in verse 34 is talking about a separation. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth a father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. You see, so if you're going to take the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, just so you can feed your family, then you don't love Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. You don't love Yahweh, you don't love Yahweh Shai. You see? You're not worthy. But if you trust in the Lord, all things will be good, man. So let me go back to Galatians, what was that, 1:7? It says, which is another, all right, another gospel, but there be some that, which is not another, all right? So it's not really another gospel, all right? It's not really another good tidings, So Christianity, they don't read the Bible, man. They don't understand precepts. They don't, what does this mean right here? Oh, that means the devil. That's their answer all the time, man. It's always the devil, all right? God is just not doing anything. The Most High is just sitting there, and he's not doing anything. He's not telling anybody anything. The angels are just kind of roaming around, not knowing what to do, all right? And then you have this devil that's over here on earth, this mythical creature that's just doing everything, all right? He's the one that's doing everything. If good people do good things, that's on their own accord. The Most High had nothing to do with it. That's what they believe. They believe in that doest thou willest, which is not true. The Most High commands everything. All right, let me get, Daniel 4 in verse, possibly 12. Let me see. Yep. It is Daniel 4. Let me see. I think it was 17. Yep. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers. All right. Who are the watchers? The prophets. All right. The ones that are reading, studying, the ones that are learning under the real leaders of Israel, which starts at Great Millstone, starting from Elder Tahar on down. It says, and the demand by the word of the holy ones. We read who the saints were in I guess, part 1. It says, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. All right. And who are the basis of men? The Edomites. All right. Here's another one. Proverbs 20:24. And it says, men's going, all right, men's goings are of Yahweh. How can man then understand his own way? You see, it is a snare to the man who devoureth that which is holy, and after vows to make inquiry. All right. So men's going are of the Most High, man. So everything belongs to the Most High. The wicked, that's beautiful too. Let me get that in Job 12. All right. Job 12. Let me see if I can remember where it was at. Let me see, where can I start? Down, can I be behold. Let me start off at verse 12. Job 12:12. It says, with the ancient is wisdom, and the length of days understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. All right, so the Most High breaks it down through men. All right, if the Most High decided that the Roman Empire was going to be hurt for a little season and come back, then guess what? That's what it's going to do. He could have completely decimated and destroyed the Roman Empire, man, and it would have never came back. But according to prophecy, it would. And you have the Roman Empire back again, all right? In the, what was it, 1957, you had NATO and the EU, all right? The EEC, all right? The European Economic Community, you know, turned into the EU, the European Union, you know, was 1957, they signed the Treaty of Rome, you know? And it's all these Edomite nations that signed that treaty, man. It says, he shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. All right, so if he created you to be mute, he didn't make an accident. He created you mute for a reason. All right, and that's called judgment. That's another thing that goes into reincarnation. All right, because without that, you speak to a Christian. Hey, why is this man born mute? They might try to quote the New Testament where Yahweh Shai said, you know, he didn't sin and his fathers didn't sin. All right, but this was so that the work of the Lord might be manifest, and then Yahweh Shai healed them. But I don't see those blind people, those mutes being healed right now, man. You know, so why is that man a mute? Why are these people blind? That's judgment, and that's why the prophets, all right, that's why the apostles asked that of Yahweh Shai, who sinned, you know, because through reincarnation, if you sin in your past, you're gonna come back and you're gonna see judgment if you don't see it in your past life. Or the Most High might have it to where you see it in your past life and you see it in your next life too. All right. Behold, he breaketh down and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man and there can be no opening. Behold, he withholdeth the waters and they dry up. Also he sendeth them out and they overturn the earth. Now in the first death was the flood. All right. The first death was the flood. And what happened in the flood? All right. The waters came down from the heavens, and also the underground streams, underground rivers, all right, they burst out through the earth too, man. They broke down the earth and they burst through, you know. That's another reason we know the scriptures are true, man. There's a lot, there's almost infinite reasons, man. From page 1 in Genesis to page, 22 in Revelations. All of it is true, you know. It says, he leadeth counselors away spoiled and maketh the judges fools. Salakia, verse 16, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. You see, so the deceived, which would be 2/3 of our people, and the deceiver, which would be these other nations, you know, those all belong to the Most High. So ultimately, he gave you up. Same thing that Paul did, man. He gave up that, can't remember that man's name, but he gave him up to Satan. You know, he gave him up to those wicked philosophies, wicked ways, you know. It says, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. He leadeth counselors away spoiled and maketh the judges fools. You see, he looseth the bonds of kings and girdeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth princes away spoiled and overthroweth the mighty. So all of this belongs to the Most High. Not to us, but the Most High. You see, so if the Most High decides to come back and then it's wartime and he's going to change some of us into those, into war apparel, all right, into warriors, you know, like it says in 1 Corinthians 15, you know, in a twinkling of an eye, we're going to be changed, you know. We're going to be like Yahweh Shai. It says, which is not another, Galatians 1:7, which is not another, all right? So Christianity is not really another gospel, but there be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Mashiach. And that's perverting the gospel, not saying the truth is perverting the gospel, man. You know, because you're taking away. You know, and we read it in scriptures. If you take away or add unto the gospel of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, you're going to be accursed. And that's another thing. To be accursed means to be cursed. All right. To swear. It doesn't mean to say a bad word like bitch. Bitch back then meant a female dog. And now it was changed to something bad. You know? So these people, man, they lack understanding. You know, verse 8. But though we or an other angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. Now, that doesn't mean that an angel is going to come down and he's going to say, hey, this, and this. All right? An angel's not going to come down and literally start telling everybody in the world, you know, hey, look, listen to this, and this is how we're going to do it from now on, you know. No. All right? But nobody's going to change scripture. All right? Not man, not angel. The Most High is not even going to change the scripture. The scripture already is, man. He created it for a reason. Those are guidelines. Those are rules. Those are things that we ought to go by. All right? That's how we should conduct ourselves according to scripture. Because if we don't, in the end days, which we are in those last days, all right, when that time comes, we're going to start bugging out. And this is our source of power, man. This is where we go back to, you know, through spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So it says, let him be accursed. So let's look up that word accursed. Anathema. Let me see.
Strong's G 331. Anathema.
Anathema. It says things set up or laid by down here. Salakia. Down here it says a curse. All right. A curse. Simple like that, man. When you curse, what do? When you're cursing, you're swearing. All right. It said up here, sin or decay, especially offered resulting in a vow. All right. Especially an offering resulting from a vow. That means to swear. When you swear, you're offering a vow. All right. To swear and to curse. That's profanity. All right. To be outside of the temple. You know, you had this Jake the other day come up to me and tell me that, you know, I was saying bad words and I was cursing. And, you know, I looked up the words and he was like, you really believe that? Do you really believe that, brother? I was like, I believe it. It's right there. It's point blank period, man. You know, it says, as we said before, so say I now again. If any man preach any other gospel unto you that ye have received, let him be accursed. All right. So you have IUIC, you have GOCC, you have these other Israelite camps that are not teaching according to scripture. They're going off of their own feelings. And like I basically went over in part 1, you know, they're going over feelings like a wolf. That's what a wolf would do. Actually, I think it was in this one. A wolf goes off of their feelings, man. Emotional attachments, you know. So it says, verse 10, and these last parts are beautiful, man. It says, for do I now persuade men or the Most High? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Mashiach. You see, so when we go out to the highways and the hedges and you people come out there trying to confuse us and trying to tell us to do something else, that's not why we're out there, man. We're not out there to please men, all right? We're out there to please Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We're out there to do the work for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, not for you. All right, it says, but I clarify, brethren, that the gospel which was preached of me is not after man. All right, so no man can come in and say, hey, look, this is how you should do it. Because it's not according to man. It's according to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know, according to the Spirit. And you can tell when somebody doesn't have the Spirit, man. You can just tell, you know. So hopefully that was edifying. You know, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to our teachers. I say shalom. Stay strong out there, Akim. You know, the devil is roaming these streets to see whom he may devour, you know. So just stay strong out there. Shalom.